Welcome to the Something Good podcast, hosted by Renee Mueller, powered by Verly. This is where we interview top business professionals, industry insiders, operational managers, and thought leaders from around the nation, diving into hot current topics to help you experience something good.
All right, we have Miss Jill DuBray on today. She is alumni from Columbus, so that's one of the reasons. And the other is she's a badass woman, boss, business person.
I like that. I'll go with that. I like it.
Can anybody repeat that? So she is with Charter West Mortgage, and so we're going to talk about that a little bit, and also the fact that you're alumni. We want to hear about some of that and what brought you back. Your maiden name was Shear. Did I say that right?
You did. Yeah, Shear. Yeah.
Okay. So your dad is still with the Sheriff's Department, Police Department?
He is the Chief of Police of Columbus. So, yep.
I should know that.
Actually, so I was an angel growing up here.
Right, exactly.
I was an angel. So
I've never had to work with him, thankfully, on anything other than maybe some community stuff. So that is good. So yeah. So tell us what it was like growing up here and how it's different now, and a little bit about what brought you back.
Sure. Okay, so I moved here in junior high. So my dad we moved here. He's the captain of the police department when he first came here.
Your eyes are humongous. You're all serious. Okay, this is easy. Okay. Easy questions right now.
Okay. So we moved here in 6th grade. And
I didn't even know that. Where from?
My dad was the chief of police in Schuyler for a long time. So
close by.
Yep, close by. So then we moved here out by Lakeview. So I went to Shell Creek and then Lakeview. But then my younger brother actually went to Columbus High. So we actually experienced multiple school systems here in town. So
a lot of families do that. I'm surprised how many honestly do that.
So. Yep. I think sometimes my parents felt like you just have to find the right fit for your kids.
Yep,
so
that's exactly
smaller
right.
school was better for me. Jay was really big into sports, and so Columbus High at the time, the wrestling program was, if you know my family, we live, breathe, die wrestling. So that's our thing. You probably can see on some of my posts, my little kids wrestling now. So that's been fun. But I graduated from Lakeview. And then I went off to...
Was that 2010?
That was 2000. Yeah, let's go with that. So 2004 is when I graduated Lakeview.
That's crazy.
The school has changed tremendously. The school has made such great strides. If you haven't seen Lakeview recently with the additions.
It's amazing. We just had Coach Frenzen here on a podcast, actually.
Yes.
And so state champs this last year, which is phenomenal. But yeah, they've come a long way. And the school looks amazing with the additions and stuff. So
amazing.
I'm glad. Yeah.
Yes. It's kind of neat. So my daughter, she is 15. She's in the high school now. So it's kind of, she can't get away with anything because she's now second generation. And so a lot of those teachers were my teachers.
Well, not only that, but you and your husband both being in business in Columbus, I mean, I tell my daughter the same thing. Like, even if people that you see, you don't know them, they know you. They know who you are.
Yeah.
So watch your back.
Yeah. Especially John being with Bank of the Valley. Yeah. So he's big into the Lakeview School. Or their bank is. But I went to Wayne State College. That's where I met John, my husband. And graduated there with 2 degrees, management and finance. But then I decided to come back to Columbus. That was always my plan, to come back to Columbus. I don't know. I'm just big on being close to family, and I liked the school that I went to. I liked the community. So I always knew I wanted to be a mortgage loan officer. Actually, John changed his major.
You always did?
Always did.
You're kidding me.
Not kidding you. True story. Always wanted to do home loans. So I don't know why. John was actually going to school to be a PA, physician's assistant, and he met me. And he changed his major to banking.
I can't see him as a PA. I mean, he seems like a pretty good numbers dude. So
not at all. So he doesn't like blood or anything. So how he thought he was going to be
right. And look at him now. I mean, that's awesome. So he owes it all to you. I think it's amazing.
Yes, I like that.
Moving here, changing his major. I mean, come on.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So we decided to come back here to Columbus. We did have our little girl in college, which she's now 15, but that was a big part of why we moved back to be close to family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I happened to get my first job. Sandy McMullen, who I think is now with Cornerstone, took a chance on a young girl and hired me just as a teller at her bank. And then I just kind of...
and that would have been what year?
That would have been in 2008.
Wow.
So, and then I was only a teller for about a year, and then I had replaced someone who had left and got into mortgage processing.
Okay.
I was there for about 6 months, and then Gary Walters with Charter West Bank
Yep,
reached
I
out
remember
to
Gary.
me. I think Tina Braun with 10 County Title gave him my name.
Okay.
And he reached out to me, and rest is history. So
That's awesome. So
yeah.
you've been there ever since.
Yep, I am going on 13 years there.
I can't believe that. That's crazy, crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That bank has just been amazing to work for. They are just big on, they never made me feel like, I started out as a processor or a teller. They never held me in that position. I worked hard and they saw that potential and they helped me grow rather than hold me back.
Yep.
So
that's amazing. That's what a good leader, a good company should do. So that's great. And here you are. So your title is what, owner?
Nope, I'm a, so I have had people tell me like you are Charter West. And so that's such a compliment.
Yeah.
But I am an assistant vice president there, senior mortgage loan officer.
Okay.
So,
and you guys are located in what is now, is it still the 30 Center Mall?
Yes. Yep. We're located in 30 Center Mall. So I tell people right by the movie theater Valentino's, but we are looking to move. So be watching for our new location. So we will be moving and announce that later. Coming soon. Yes.
Awesome. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that. It'll be a nice place.
Yeah.
So.
Wonderful. And your staff consists of how many people?
Here locally, we have 6 employees. But we also still use people out of Omaha, Grand Island. We are placed everywhere because thankfully we are set up to be able to work from home. Underwriters, processing, things like that. So we have a really good system. So we're placed all over, but here locally we have 6 employees.
Okay. So then most of your underwriters would be located, are they within the state or all over the place?
Yep. Everyone's within the state. We're all Nebraska based. But yeah, we're located in Grand Island, Lincoln, Omaha, West Point, Pender. We're all over.
Okay.
So.
Awesome. Yeah, I didn't realize there were that many locations even. So
we actually, so it's really exciting. It came out. We were the second largest producer in Nebraska for purchase lending. So we finished number 2 out of all Nebraska.
Wow.
And then actually in the Platte County and surrounding areas, we finished number 2 for purchase lending as well.
That's incredible.
So we look small, but we are mighty.
Yeah, of course. Well, hey, that's my saying.
Is it?
Small but mighty. Come on.
I love it.
Yeah. So then tell me, what's your ratio of, say, government loans because of the fact that Columbus and Platte County is more rural versus, say, conventional or any other products?
I don't have an exact number, but I'm just going to say that if you would have asked me this a year ago, before I feel like where the market changed, I would have probably been 70% government loans.
Really?
But we've really, because as you know, it's been a seller's market. They've really been wanting to see conventional offers. I think that's really shifted. I think I'm like 50-50 now for conventional versus government.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
So, but it's, the market really leads what you do with loans.
That's exactly right.
But I tell people, if your bank gives you a government loan or an answer, if you're in a hard market, go back to your lender and say, my offer keeps getting turned away. Can I go? Is there a conventional?
Yeah.
You're not stuck with that one.
Yep. That's exactly right.
You're not stuck with that one scenario.
Yeah, for sure. So then tell me, of the clients you work with, typically, are these people your sphere, people?
When I first started out, I'll kind of lead up.
Don't tell everyone you're related to Don Dreesen.
I am related to Don Dreesen. Love you, Don. But actually, I built my business mostly off of realtor relationships, and so is how I really counted on those realtor referrals. I still remember the first time I had met and saw you. I think we were out, and I approached you, and Then I bonded with you over our daughters, and it was something that
like forever ago, but yes,
it was forever ago. But I kind of built relationships, friendships with realtors. That's how I initially got business. Then it kind of led more into customers referring customers. Now I just feel like people call me and they say, I talked to 3 or 4 people and every single person gave me your name. So it's just, as you know, it just kind of.
That's right. And you're involved in the community. So some of the things that you enjoy doing as far as that goes, or you and John together maybe.
I feel like I'm less involved now just because if anyone knows me, I have 4 kids and that has made it, and my husband is very busy. So it's made it a little harder to be involved in things. But we try to participate in as many activities, fundraisers, anything that is involved at, Taste of Columbus, any school function. We try to go to and be a part of. But awesome. I have 3 kids under the age of 6, as you know, and
well, you're growing the population, so we're looking to change the demographic. Jill's doing it on her own with 4 children, so
that's right.
Yeah. So we talked about that before we started this episode as well. So, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on is because you're alumni, and I, for some reason, thought John was as well. We'll just say he is. So you made him that way.
Everyone thinks he's from here and not me. So.
That's funny. Well, he's so, he's really become very integrated in the community, so that's probably why. So, so tell me then, what was the reason for you coming back to Columbus, and how do we change the demographic? How do we keep recruiting more of those people here?
Obviously job opportunities. I think that's huge. John and I wouldn't have migrated back this way if we didn't have job opportunities. No. Okay. We happened to both land great jobs. Actually, John started at Bank of the Valley, his first job here, and that's where he's been ever since.
No, I didn't know that either. That was his first gig.
Yep. Wow. Yep. That was his first job here in Columbus. And so he started there, and he built, I'm very proud of him. He built Bank of the Valley here pretty much.
I saw him swinging the hammer a couple times.
Yeah. So he's done amazing there. But I think the job opportunity is a big thing. More professional type jobs is huge. But I think things to do. When I have young people move here and I do their loans and I find out that they leave, I try to add a lot of my customers on Facebook just to keep in touch, stay in front of them. One of the biggest things I feel like is there's not much to do is how they feel or their answers. So I don't know if we need more professional gatherings, get-togethers, places.
The quality of life, it definitely, those projects are part of the initiative, so we help not just with our time, but also donations, monetary donations to things like the ice skating project, and the walking and bike trails. I think Matt's getting together a beer and bagel run here very soon. Things like that I think are maybe geared more towards that demographic, just things to do, looking at the technology too, like what apps can we use to make sure that those people, when they're hitting those trails, see that there's other events, maybe other runs locally that they can be participating in, things like that.
Yeah.
But it takes more than just one person, obviously, to get this done. And so that's, for me, that's part of it too, is that when I'm looking at giving those community tours or talking to people that are coming in, we have a whole list of things that we go over with them and introduce them to people that they may not know. There's a tennis organization that's pretty big, or, certain things that I just don't think you're going to find online, Columbus, so those little hidden gems, but again, it takes more.
And we need to support them. We need to go be a part of it in order for those things to survive.
That's what I'm saying. Time, money, they all need it, and so we have our staff, for instance, we encourage all of them to be part of some organization, even on company time, because it's so important.
Absolutely.
And, I think that there is probably a big group of people that's involved in most of these activities now. And, you sort of get burned out. You got to pass that baton on to someone else. Let's get more and more and more involved. The agents here, in our office are really good about that. And I'm proud of that. And that's really why, because that initiative.
And invite a few people.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things, I know we're talking about young people, but young people, especially me and my out-of-state friends talk about this. In Nebraska, we tend to start our families younger. We get married younger. My biggest thing with having small children is babysitters, daycare. Is there more of an app, some sort of thing that we can incorporate to find more babysitters? I feel like a lot of people don't do things because they have no one to watch their children. You mean
like one independent, like at night or something? Or not have daycare centers or anything like that?
Yes. Yes. More of, being able to go do things socially, or more things to do socially with your children, so.
Yeah. A family, some sort of family fun center or something like that, but daycare is always a hot topic. I know Nicole Anderson was here. We talked about the new center, the preschool daycare, also, the building that they have that used to be the junior high that they're building. A lot of people didn't realize, I think after that podcast, that was even being done. And so that will hopefully help. But I know the study that the Columbus Public School System did, or the foundation did, really was telling on how much daycare is needed. The hot topics are always daycare, housing, things to do, obviously quality of life.
And I think I think people are missing, just going from the social part of it, missing like babysitters to do evening things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So like a nanny or a
Yes.
sitter, after hours.
Yep.
So, I mean, there are groups that you could go to. I think like the moms groups or MOPS or, young, I think YFC is another one, if I remember right. Or, no, that's Youth for Christ. There's something else that's like young moms. Besides MOPS. But anyway, I think all of them probably have some circuit of, daycare. They're sharing it, like, co-share, basically like one mom, watches all of them this night, the next, night, this mom watches them, you know what I mean? Like a kind of a co-share for babysitting, I think is maybe a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you can watch my one and I'll watch your 4.
That's an even trade. That's such an even trade.
So tell me, how old are they now?
We have a 15-year-old, and we do kind of have a built-in babysitter a little bit sometimes, but
she's busy probably.
She's busy and she's over it. Like she'll go say yes to the neighbors with babysitting in a heartbeat.
I'm right there.
But she does not want to babysit her siblings.
Yeah.
So
I think they listen better though. I mean, at least from my experience, my son listens better to other people who are, the same age as Cora rather than her. So probably the sibling thing, I suppose.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. And then we have a little girl who's 6 and she goes to kindergarten at Emmanuel Lutheran. Great school. Yep. So we love it there. And then we have twin 4-year-olds who go to preschool at Emmanuel Lutheran. And we just had parent-teacher conferences today and, they had decent reviews. So that's good. We're still in the Are you in preschool?
Nav is first grade.
First grade. So you're good. You're good. Okay, this is preschool.
That's funny. Well, I know Lakeview was last night.
So. Oh, it was. Yes.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So what else is on the horizon, I guess, for you and Charter West or you and your family?
Charter West, I just feel like we're still focused. We have been able to rely on rates, being able to push our volume, and that's changing. So if you got pre-qualified 3 weeks ago on a home loan, you'd be surprised if you haven't talked to your lender. Your rates are going to be much different. So, but just figuring out how to keep that business coming in the door with rates going up. We have added locally to our staff to. My goal is really to just focus on pre-qualifications and have my staff keep the loans moving and, make sure they get to the finish line. Right. And I just feel like our goal is just customer service and being more involved. Actually, something we've really been trying to do the last year is getting more involved in the community. Yeah. And now that we have the staff, I used to kind of be a lone ranger with just a couple people in the office. So that was hard to do it all. But now that we have more staff, we're really trying to be involved in the community.
Yeah. So that's good.
In regards to family, we're just trying, I always say we're chaotically blessed, just trying not to lose our crap shit. Yeah, I don't know how I can say that. So
Matt, edit that out. I mean,
so I just feel like we're really involved in that. Finding that balance. I'm a big. You may see this on Facebook and stuff. I'm really big believer in women still being. You don't have to give up your dreams in your career just because you have kids. You can do it all.
Right.
Your partner obviously has to be a good partner.
Well, I was going to say it really takes the whole family unit, to be supportive of it. It's difficult, it really is difficult when you have kids being in business and that support is very integral. And if you don't have it, then it makes it almost impossible.
It does. So we're just, activities with the kids. That's our goal. So Shaylee's really involved too, volleyball, dance, all that stuff at Lakeview. Crazy. So, but we, our little girl's wrestling. So I'm teaching her that you can go on the mat and wrestle and kick boys' butts, but funny. You can get off and put your lipstick and heels on and, go be a powerhouse in the another
awesome.
way.
Do whatever you want. I mean, that's amazing. So that's a good lesson. So, and I see, we talked before this as well about personal growth and sort of, I've seen some of your goals. I haven't paid a lot of attention, to be honest, just because we've been busy with onboarding so many other things. Yeah, we have Kearney officially launching this week, so I'm super excited about that. But so some of your goals, I'm a little intrigued by, and if I remember right, I read one was not to drink. As much, or is it not at all?
No, so this job, not as much.
This job makes me want to drink all the time.
It really, I mean, you can probably know more than anyone in this business. You can be fine in the morning and you all of a sudden hear news 2 hours later and it's a really stressful situation. Like something that you thought was going to close now has a huge problem.
I will say, yes, I learned a lot of valuable lessons in 2021. And I think the biggest take for me was that, if it's not life and death, then it's really not an emergency. It's
That's
not
right.
as big of a deal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's tough to remember that though in the moment, because I get it.
It is. I'm learning to unwind. I used to go home and just have a glass of wine or, just, something like that. And I now replace that with working out a lot. Also, I read a lot of positive books, whether it's religious, faithful, whether it's just positive books about growth.
Yeah.
I really replaced all of that with reading and working out. So,
yeah, very cool.
Yeah. Or making sure, me and the kids do some sort of game time or something like that.
It makes a big difference. I think it sounds cliche. Not everybody wants to be preached all the time or hear about your personal growth or your goals, but it does make a difference when you set them. Our team talks about that as a team, and just how you start your day, being positive, some of those affirmations, working out, even though you don't want to. It's huge. It really does make a big difference. So
yeah, I really, that's what I've been working on is I do believe in order to be successful, you have to be mentally healthy. And so if you don't take care of yourself mentally, you can't take care of others.
Right.
Whether that's your employees, whether that's your customers, your kids, your husband, you have to be mentally healthy.
Agreed.
So for me, it's not that I wasn't drinking a lot. I just felt like it was more of there's other things. Instead of going home and sitting and having a glass of wine, I could be doing something that's more productive.
Right. Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's how I felt. So I'm really excited. I'm hoping I think I've been voted best loan officer in Columbus 2 years in a row. So my goals are to stay, finding that balance of still being able to focus on myself.
Right. But, always improving.
Yes, but still be successful and on the top of my game. So
good.
Yep.
Well, we're happy to help with that. And anything else that you want to add, Jill, about anything at all?
I always want to pave the way for young women. I was a young mom, and I'm just a big believer in work hard, keep positive, and you can really change your life if you want to.
You can. It's limitless. I mean, there really are so many possibilities out there, and I don't think enough people look at that. They feel like if they made a mistake or if they're stuck in the moment, then they have to stay there. They can't ever, it's sort of like when you maybe plan to eat better, you have a bad off day and you just think, oh,
then
the heck with it, I'm just gonna,
yeah.
And so I agree with you. And I think that's pretty commendable that you would look at that and want to be a better example to, not only your daughter probably, but other, young ladies. And so that's good.
Yep. So
cool. Well, we appreciate your time coming in, talking with us, and sharing everything. And we can't wait for the big announcement coming up. And so we'll be in touch regarding that. And we appreciate your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks, Jilly.
All right.